I'm sorry, I'll try to speak up. Your Honor, as for the initial appearance case, or excuse me, as for the arraignment case first, Judge, I'm sorry. Mr. Butler's in receipt of that indictment more than 24 hours. We'll waive the reading, waive any defects in service, ask for a reasonable bond to be set, and our office appointed on the matter. Your Honor, as to the 666-617 case, that's the initial appearance. Your Honor, I'd ask that we be appointed on that matter as well. Asked to be heard briefly as to bond, I believe the state, or at least to respond to the state's recitation.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Butler.
Good morning.
Can you hear us clearly, sir?
I can hear you a little bit. It's kind of hard, but I'm going to do the best I can.
No, I need you to be able to hear us clearly.
I can't hear you clearly. I can't.
Can you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry?
I can hear you, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's kind of hard for me. I got to put my ear a little closer to the computer. It's kind of, I can hear you.
Okay, all right.
Judge, I don't know if they can get him a headset or something in there.
Why don't we see if we can get him something, because I need him to be able to hear clearly.
As I say, Your Honor, because I believe the state and I are both going to have a piece to say, and I'd prefer him to hear it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Call him back and then ask for them to get him a headset.
Okay. We're going to recall that case and give them an
Officer
opportunity.
Hester, are you able to make sure he gets a headset?
I'm on it now.
Thank you. Next, we'll do a jail in the courtroom. This is case number 662006, co-defendant C, James Stanton. Co-defendants are pending on the docket of Judge Collier Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael J. Goldberg, 696-4514 on behalf of Mr. Stanton. He's had the indictment for over 24 hours, understands its contents. He will waive any defects of service, waive the reading here today, and enter a plea of not guilty. Ask that a reasonable bond be set.
Thank you so much, Mr. Goldberg. Good morning, Mr. Stanton. This matter has been assigned to the docket of Judge Cassandra Collier Williams. The not guilty is entered as counsel has indicated. Mr. Goldberg is counsel for the record. First pretrial is going to be on 1/13/2022 at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
There's to be a no contact with victims. Bond is set at $25,000, cash surety your property, and sir, you also have to submit a DNA sample. Anything further, Mr. Goldberg?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Next bail case, 665577, Terrell Dorsey.
For the record, Michael J. Goldberg, 696-4514 on behalf of Mr. Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey has had the indictment for over 24 hours and understands the contents of a waive reading and any defect of service. Enter a plea of not guilty requested personal bond.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Dorsey. This matter has been assigned to the docket of Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. Not guilty is entered. Mr. Goldberg is counsel for the record. She sets her own pretrials. So bond is set at $2,500 personal. Anything further, Mr. He also was going to have court supervised release. Okay. Anything further, Mr. Goldberg?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 666198, Matthew Slaughter.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Antonio Nicholson, 0091858 on behalf of Mr. Slaughter, Your Honor. Mr. Slaughter has received a copy of the indictment. He'll waive the reading of such, as well as a 24-hour notice, defects of service, and respectfully enter a plea of not guilty, and ask that the recommended bond be set, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Slaughter.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Not guilty is entered. Counsel for the record is Antonio Nicholson. This matter is being assigned to the docket of Judge Maureen Clancy. First pretrial is going to be on 1/18/2022 at 9 a.m. Court supervised release. Bond is set at $2,500 personal. Anything further, Mr. Nicholson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 666036, co-defendant C, Akia Rias, R-I-A-S-E. Co-defendants are pending on the docket of Judge Madej.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Grant, 241-6868, to acknowledge the indictment, waive a reading, enter a plea not guilty, as the original bond was continued.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Miss. Is it Reyes? Rise. Okay. Good morning. This not guilty is entered. Counsel for the record is David Grant. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Sherry Madej. First pretrial is going to be on 1/24/2022 at 9 a.m. Court supervised release. Original bond is going to be continued at $15,000, cash surety or property, 10%. There's to be no contact with the victim. Also, GPS standard. Anything further, Counselor? Mr.
No, Your
Grant?
Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 665289, again, Michael Gonzalez.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wesley Doing Senior on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez. Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive the reading thereon, enter a plea of not guilty, as for personal bond on this matter.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dumas. Good morning, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Not guilty is entered. Counsel for the record is Wesley Dumas. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Peter J. Corrigan. First pretrial is going to be on 1/20/2022 at 9 a.m. Bond is set at $2,500 personal. Anything further, Mr. Dumas?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 665020, Stephen Bond.
Counselor?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
He has been in receipt of, he mentions an acquisition. He's been in receipt of his indictment for more than 24 hours. We waive any defects or readings of facts in service. And he asks that a pretrial be set and that his bond be continued.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Bond.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Not guilty is entered. Counsel for the record is Mary Jo Hansen. This matter has been assigned to the docket of Daniel Gall. First pretrial is going to be on 2/15/2022 at 9:30 a.m. Original bond will be continued, which is $5,000, 10% cash. There's no contact with the victim. There is a temporary protection order. Defendant is also going to be on CSR, GPS home detention. Sir, want to make sure that you understand that a violation with regards to that protection order could create another issue for you in a separate independent charge. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And no contact means in any form or fashion, not through another person, not through social media, anything that you can conjure in your mind that will result in contact. The answer is no, because you could be in violation. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything further, Counselor?
No.
Thank you.
Who was it assigned to?
Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel Gall.
Oh, yeah.
Case number 665981, Anthony Taylor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Herbert.
Attorney Allison Herbert on behalf of Anthony Taylor. He's received a copy of his indictment, waives any defects in time or manner of service, enters the plea of not guilty, and asks that the recommended bond be imposed.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Taylor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Not guilty is entered. Counsel for the record is Allison Hibbert. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Jones Sennenberg. First pretrial is going to be on 1/25/2022 at 9 a.m. Bond is set at $5,000 personal. Anything further, Ms. Hibbert?
Nothing further, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Case number 664253, co-defendant A, Devon Crenshaw, on probation to Judge Clancy.
Good morning, Your Honor. Again, Attorney Allison Hibbert, standing in for Mary Catherine Corrigan on behalf of Devon Crenshaw. He's received a copy of his indictment, waives any defects in time or manner of service, enters a plea of not guilty.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Crenshaw. Not guilty entered. This matter is, attorney of record is actually Mary Catherine Corrigan. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Maureen Clancy. There will be CSR. Pretrial is 1/18/2022 at 9 a.m. Bond is set at $2,500 personal. Anything further, Ms. Hibbert?
Nothing further, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Case number 663829, Herbert Drake. Re-indictment going back to the docket of Judge John Russo.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
00686630. First off, nice job emceeing Judge Moore's events.
They tell me I missed my calling.
You did. That was good. Your Honor, Mr. Drake's been received his indictment for a period in excess of 24 hours. Waived reading and interplea of not guilty. As to bond, if I may address that, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Counsel for the record is Ian Friedman. Not guilty is entered. This matter has been assigned to the docket of Judge John J. Russo. First pretrial is going to be on 1/25/2022 at 9 a.m. Counsel, you may be heard.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Drake was indicted originally on February 18, 2021 in case number 657122. The day prior to trial, the case was dismissed by the state. In that case, Mr. Drake had posted a bond of $25,000 cash surety property, 10%, and that was posted on March 17, 2021. That bond is still here with the court, so I would just ask the court for an order that the bond originally posted in case 657122 be transferred to the instant matters, that Mr. Drake's not forced to get a refund and only to come back and then just repay it.
Just so you know, since that case is dismissed, I'm told we can't apply the bond. If it was so open, we could. The clerk's office told me we can't.
Mr. Friedman, I've just been informed because that case was dismissed, then they can't apply it. If the case was still open, then your request would be easy to, for the court to order. But it's my understanding that that can't be done. Is that correct?
That's what I've been told through the clerk's office.
Through the clerk's office.
You can only ask for what can be done, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
So maybe you could address that, look into that and address that. But this time, it's my understanding, the only authority the court has is to set the current bond in the case that's currently before the court. And that bond is going to be set at $25,000, cash surety of property 10%, and there's no contact with the victim. Okay. Anything further, Counselor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, there is also an HIV order. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Case number 665756, Caleb Perry. This case is proceeding by information.
Good morning, Your Honor. Verification action 00057995, standing in for my colleague, Mr. Charles Augustus Swanson, Your Honor. This is information, Your Honor. Mr. Swanson has gone over the right to have a case presented to the grand jury with Mr. Perry. They've discussed it in detail. Mr. Perry is aware of the rights. He voluntarily
knowingly and intelligently.
Hold a second, where's Mr. Perry? Oh, okay, thank you, go on.
He's going to enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor, and ask that it go through the system as an information rather than a indictment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Perry.
Good morning.
Mr. Perry, the court does have in its possession a document entitled Waiver of Indictment with Counsel. It states in pertinent part, I, Caleb Perry, the above-named defendant, has been accused of the following section of the revised code. The criminal offense which is not punishable by death or life imprisonment, having been advised by the court of the nature of the charges against me, improperly handling a firearm in a motor vehicle, and of my rights under the Constitution and being represented by counsel, hereby waive in writing in an open court prosecution by indictment and arraignment thereon, and request the consent that the charge proceed by information instead of by indictment. And this document bears a signature, sir. Is that your signature on this document?
Yeah.
And did you know what you were signing at the time?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And then the court also has the signature of Charles Swanson, who is the counsel of record, and the county prosecutor, Assistant County Prosecutor Terry McKenna. The court will therefore execute this document as well. Sir, how do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. Not guilty is entered. Charles Swanson is counsel of record. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Daniel Gall. First pretrial is going to be on 2/15/2022 at 9:30 a.m. Original bond is continued at $5,000, 10% cash. Anything further, Counselor?
It was 2:15, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
2:15.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 664304, Ross Gilbert.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Cafferty.
Madam Chair, on behalf of Mr. Gilbert, Judge, respectfully, we waive 24-hour notice, waive reading of the indictment, and an not guilty plea, and ask for a personal bond.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Ms. Gilbert.
Good morning.
Not guilty entered. Counsel of record is Kevin Cafferty. This matter is assigned to the docket of John P. O'Donnell. First pretrial is going to be on 1/18/2022 at 9 a.m. Bond is set at $5,000 personal. Anything further, Mr. McCafferty?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Cafferty?
Thank you.
Case number 665829, Juan Hill.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
For the record, John Powell, on behalf of Mr. Hill, 440-799-8800, who acknowledges receipt of the indictment for a period in excess of 24 hours, waive reading thereof, and are pleaded not guilty, and ask that his original bond be continued.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Hill.
Good morning.
Yes. Not guilty entered. This matter has been assigned to the docket of Judge Stephen Gall. First pretrial is going to be on 1/31/2022 at 9 a.m. Original bond is being continued at $2,500, cash surety of property, 10%, no contact with the victim. So you understand that that means no contact in any form or fashion? Okay. All right. Anything further, Mr. Powers?
No, Your Honor.
Well, hold on one second.
As a potential candidate for the Veterans Treatment Court, if counsel would like, we can do a referral out of this room if he wants.
Mr. Powers, the court has just been advised that he may be eligible for the Veterans Treatment Court. So is that something you'd like to pursue? He said yes. Okay, then we'll insert the information with regards to the request. Okay, thank you so much.
Next, Jail 9 South, case number 657538. Tyron Cevanic, that's Cervenak.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Lisa L.T. on behalf of Tyron Cevanic, bar number 97662. Your Honor, we waived the reading of the complaint and received more than just 1 hour given the defect. Your Honor, we plead not guilty and that's for the lowest possible harm.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Cevanic.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Not guilty is entered. Counsel of record is Counsel Issa Ekheep Habati. Elkati.
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you. Matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. She assigns her pretrials, and so I don't have a pretrial date for you. Bond is set at $5,000 cash surety of property, 10%, and the defendant will be on court supervised release. Anything further, Counselor?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Another Jail 9 South, case number 663461, co-defendant B, Mysterio, halvey. Co-defendants are pending on the docket of Judge Hagan.
There's a victim here.
Your Honor, I do have a victim here that would like to speak.
Attorney Lisa L.T. on behalf of Mysterio Halvey, Your Honor. We were received the complaint for 24 hours. We were reading the complaint with defects. Your Honor, we plead not guilty and we ask for the lowest possible harm.
Thank you so much, Counselor Ekheep.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Halvey.
Morning, Your Honor.
Not guilty is entered. Counsel Ekheep is counsel of record. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge Emily Hagan. First pretrial is going to be on 1/12/2022 at 9 a.m. There's to be no contact with the victim. I understand that there's a victim present would like to be heard at this time.
Hi, Your Honor.
Good
My name is
morning.
Crystal Wilson, CRYSTALWILSON. I was just wanting to come in because I am nervous about my safety. I saw her and another one of the people that committed this crime against me and my spouse around my home, and I don't feel safe. So I was hoping that if you guys could do something about that, so that she could stay away from us and my work.
Your Honor.
Thank you so much. Yes.
The state's asking for at least the minimum of the recommended bonds, as well as no contact with the victims and GPS standard monitoring. It's alleged in this case it was an incident at a bar. The defendants had guns. They threatened to kill the victims. They beat the victims to the extent that one of the victims, the victim that is here today, her husband, had a concussion and fractured orbital. So we'd ask for that high bond, or at least a high bond, no 10% in those conditions.
Thank you so much. Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. One of the alleged victims, I believe the victim that just was on the record, her husband, is already have put an affidavit together with the candidate story in regards to my client or her son being involved in any aggravated robbery or any assault.
Wait. All cell phones must be turned off. Counsel, I apologize.
Yes, no problem, Your Honor. As I said, Your Honor, one of the alleged victims, I believe the victim's husband or boyfriend, that was just on the record, has already put an affidavit together recanting any accusation to my client or her son in this assault. We ask that there be no GPS, that she would agree that she would have no contact with the alleged victims, but that she be let out on the lowest possible bond so she can support her family and continue to work and do what she has to do in regards to her responsibility. She has not been found guilty of anything, and again, Your Honor, we have an affidavit saying that she hasn't done anything.
Thank you so much.
Your
Does
Honor,
the state have,
we're unaware of any
I was-
such affidavit.
Current prosecutor on the record on the co-defendant, or I'm sorry, on the co-defendant on this case, isn't received the affidavit.
the affidavit has been received by the state?
By the prosecutor, correct.
I have no notes in here at this time.
When was that done, Counselor?
I believe it was last week, Your Honor.
And you personally, as an officer of the court, presented that to the state?
My office has emailed it to Alicia Harrison, Your Honor, who's the prosecutor on the co-defendant.
Your Honor, like I said, I'm not,
We can provide another one, Your Honor, just a copy.
I just don't see anything in there.
Well, as an officer of the court, he's indicated that
No,
that
I'm
information.
not disagreeing, I'm just saying I don't see anything, so I can't
Mhm.
attest to it.
No, and that's what I'm saying, that he, as an officer of the court, he's indicated that information. The court is going to accept that. Bond is going to be set at $25,000, cash surety of property, 10%, no contact with the victim. But I am going to put GPS exclusion, inclusion also. You can address that with the assigned judge later, counsel, if you feel that that is something that you would like to do. But I am going to put GPS exclusion, inclusion, okay? That's the least restrictive.
I understand, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Another jail, gonna skip to a first appearance case. This is case number 666656, Amarian Hewley. First appearance.
Mr. Shaughnessy?
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. Thomas Shaughnessy, 216-721-7700. Your Honor, I believe we're here on a first appearance. We would enter a plea of not guilty.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Hewley.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Hewley, this matter is going to the grand jury. As it relates to this, you have counsel. Counsel of record is Mr. Shaughnessy. We have the original bond being continued of $100,000, cash surety of property, no contact with victim, with CSR and GPS standard. Anything further, Mr. Shaughnessy?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
We're gonna go back to another Zoom. Arraignment and first appearance for Anthony Butler. Can you hear me, Mr. Butler?
Yes, I can hear you now clearly, yes, ma'am.
This is arraignment case number 666611 and first appearance case number 666617, Anthony Butler.
All right, Mr. Butler, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now. That was a mix-up earlier. I can hear you clearly now.
All right, fantastic. Your Honor, Andrew Schreiber, 96887 from the public defender for Mr. Butler. Your Honor, on the case ending 611, that's the arraignment case, we are in receipt of the indictment more than 24 hours. We'll waive the reading as well as any defects in service. Enter a not guilty plea, ask for our office to be appointed. On the 666-617 matter, that's the initial appearance, Judge, would ask that our office be appointed. Your Honor, I understand the state would like to be heard as to bond. I'd just ask for the chance to respond.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Butler.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. Doing well. In reference to case number 666-611, not guilty is entered. This matter is assigned to the docket of Judge John J. Russo. Public Defender's Office is assigned. First pretrial is going to be on 1/18/2022 at 9 a.m. No contact with victims. Bond is set at $5,000. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to be heard. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you.
On case number 666611, we'd like the following facts to be considered. The defendant stole a car in this case on December 19th. He had befriended the victim, met up with the victim, and then stole the car. On December 31st, he traded this car for the car that was stolen from Officer Shane Bartek, who was murdered that day. He led the police from several jurisdictions on a high-speed chase, resulting in speeds over 100 miles per hour, almost causing multiple collisions, ended up crashing Officer Bartek's car. The bond in the first appearance case, 666-617, was originally $5 million. We've asked for substantial bonds in both of these cases. Basically, he switched the initial car from the theft on December 19th for Officer Bartek's car. So basically, he contributed to the transfer of stolen cars, and notably a car that was taken in a murder. So we'd ask for at least a minimum of $100,000 on both cases, no 10%.
Thank you so much.
Your Honor, if I may.
You may.
Your Honor, first I want to say that what happened to Officer Bartek, of course, is a tragedy, and I'm in no way seeking to minimize that. However, even the recitation of the facts as alleged by the state does not include any even allegation that Mr. Butler knew the provenance of the car that was taken and that was found on him in the 617 case. Your Honor, we're talking about a failure to comply, a receiving stolen property, and a theft charge. These are not allegations that warrant a $100,000 bond. I understand Mr. Butler has a record. It is all nonviolent. It is all theft. Your Honor, I'd ask the court to consider a bond commensurate with the offenses as charged in this case. The state is not charging Mr. Butler with the murder of Officer Bartek. The state's not charging Mr. Butler with any allegation of complicity or that he knew that that's where this car came from or that he was involved in the murder of Officer Bartek. $100,000 for a receiving stolen property and a failure to comply is significantly out of proportion. And the Criminal Rule 46 goals for setting bond are to set it in proportion with the offense to ensure the safety of the community and to ensure that Mr. Butler returns to court, which my understanding of his record is that he generally has, even though he does have a record of prior thefts, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the state may respond briefly. We just want to stress, under Criminal Rule 46, the court is also to take into consideration the seriousness of the crime and whether or not the defendant's a flight risk. He fled from police and led a chase where he was speeding in excess of 100 miles per hour. So we do believe he's a flight risk, and this was a serious issue.
Thank you so much. With regards to case number 666-611, the defendant is charged with aggravated theft. With regards to that, the recommendation from the bond commissioner in that matter is $5,000 cash surety of property, 10%. The court is going to set it at $5,000 cash surety of property, no contact with victims. In case number 666-617, as indicated, defendant, it's failure to comply with a signal of police in that particular matter and assuring a clear distance. The bond recommendation from the bond commissioner is $100,000 cash surety of property, or 10%. With regards to that one, the court is going to leave it as the bond commissioner in that the charges of what he's charged with at this particular time. As indicated, this matter is assigned to the docket of Judge John J. Russo, and pretrial is 1/18/2022 at 9 a.m. Anything further, Counselor?
Nothing at all, Judge. Thank you.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Excuse me, and Your Honor, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
So I can't really hear. So my bond is, well, I really couldn't hear. Like I didn't know you were talking to me. I couldn't really hear you.
Okay, we cleared, first before we started, we made it very certain that you could hear, and you indicated that you could hear.
I heard you say 2 bond, I got 1 indictment, so I got
No,
an indictment.
no, you have two cases, sir. One that's going to the grand jury, that is case number 666617. And on that one, your bond is set at $100,000, cash surety or property.
Okay, I heard, okay, I got that one. You said another one, correct?
And then you have the one that you were arraigned on, and that is set at $5,000 cash surety or property. I'm sorry, the 666617 is a 10%.
All right, so I'm charged with aggravated theft and fleeing and losing, correct?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I heard you just correctly, that's all.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Anything further?
No, Judge, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Butler, I'll make sure somebody's, he's got. You take that.
Thank you.